All right, you have a quorum.
How you doing, Ms. Mood?
I'm doing fine. How about you?
Just dealing with some headaches.
Oh no, that's miserable.
Yeah.
That's miserable.
Yeah,
Well, maybe we won't belabor this timing.
I think we could call this meeting to order. We do have it has been established that we do have a quorum, correct, Mr. Ando?
That is correct, Mr. Huggins.
Okay. Motion to approve the minutes from the last meeting.
July 10, 2019. Pages 3 through 13 of your packet.
I was hesitating to make the motion because I wasn't present. Is there somebody present that was present?
Well, unfortunately, Ms. Boulware resigned from the board, and Mr. Unthank hasn't joined the meeting yet. And
okay, well, I move to approve.
And I second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay. Next agenda item, Mr. Ando.
And then just for an FYI, we included the notes from the December 11, 2019 meeting since there was no quorum present for that meeting. Moving on to the next item, we are requesting that this committee make a recommendation to the board to pursue building a bus stop at the corner of Lucius Road and River Drive. This is on page 14 of your packet. As you may not be aware, but we own property across the street from our bus yards, and the intent of that property was to develop to expand the system in the future to have additional bus parking. However, I don't foresee in the near future that we will be needing that land to expand for additional bus parking. So there has been a desire to consolidate the bus stops at Lucius Road and also to start looking at how we can decentralize Laurel and Sumter. And I'm proposing that we build basically a super stop like we built at Columbia Place Mall and at Harbison Walmart and Forest Drive Sam's Club, where we have a super stop where buses can all come in a methodical manner, facilitate transfers, and then depart. Page 17 of your packet gives you an idea of what the super stop will look like. Page 18 shows you what we built at Columbia Place Mall that's getting ready to open. We will pursue, we've had discussions with elected officials on this project to make sure that there wouldn't be any controversy. We've talked with Senator John Scott, Councilmember Paul Livingston, and we're about to have a conversation with Councilmember Sam Davis tomorrow. And so far, we're not hearing any opposition from the project since it's developing a bus stop at the corner of River and Lucius, which is a commercial area. And we're keeping the project far away from the residential neighborhood. And as you're aware, we already have buses going up and down through this area, so we don't foresee it being disruptive to the neighborhood. Any routes that would serve this facility would only access the facility via River Drive and not Lucius Road. So we don't have a multitude of buses coming down through the neighborhoods. We project this project will cost $1.5 to $2.5 million to build. We would pursue FTA funds to build this project. We will also pursue an environmental categorical exclusion, so we don't have to go through the environmental phase just because of the fact that the property we've demolished the previous facilities on the property, and we're not aware of any environmental impact, but our assessment will determine if we need to do anything more with environmental. The property is appropriately zoned, so we don't have to do any zoning amendments. We are exempt from Title VI equity analysis. So our next steps is if the board concurs with this project, that we would meet with the City of Columbia to go through the appropriate zoning process and get a zoning verification letter, and then start the process to build this facility. Be happy to answer any questions if there are any.
All right. Are there any questions?
Mr. Chair? Yep.
Yes, ma'am.
John, could you describe for us sort of what the change in the flow of the bus system traffic, how this super stop would affect existing flow of routes?
So we envision that routes that originate like let's say North Main, Broad River, Dutch Square area, we would have a lot of those routes, instead of continuing downtown, they would terminate at this facility. Routes that are in the southeastern portion, some of those routes will come to this facility, but they would come via the way of Main Street to Sunset Drive and then access the facility. Some routes will not come to this facility because there won't be enough time to bring them to this facility, and we envision that those routes would terminate at Taylor and Hardy, where we're building another super stop. So the goal is to just downgrade Laurel and Sumter to ultimately just be a bus stop with a few routes that are in that vicinity passing through it, but not acting as a transfer point anymore. And we would be spreading out the transfer activity throughout the service area.
Any other questions from the committee? Is there a motion?
I make a motion that we recommend to the board that they adopt this plan for a super stop at Lucius Road and River Drive.
I second the motion. Any discussion?
And I would just add that, can we just add this, that just conditional upon our feedback we get from Councilmember Sam Davis, provided that we don't have any opposition from him, that I believe politically will be safe to move forward.
Very good.
And I think that contact is going to be essential because he was very active and had a lot of feedback from his constituents when we were trying to locate the Lucius Road facility. And if I'm not mistaken, I'm not sure, but there were discussions about whether this would ever become a place where riders would be transferring, and so you might need to look at that history when you talk with him, because that may be.
I can tell you we did look into the history, and there was no promises documented in record that we would have built like a transit center. And I want to caution that we're not building a transit center like Laurel and Sumter. We're building more of a downscale facility to facilitate transfers, so that they're not, for the purpose of this project, we're not going to build a building. We're not going to put restrooms. It's just going to be bus shelters and an opportunity for people to get off one bus and get on another bus. Kind of like the same pulse manner that we have at Laurel and Sumter.
Well, and so I think that'll be important information for Mr. Davis to have, because I know that he did get some pushback before. And will then the mega bus stop be moved over to this?
Yeah, we would move it from our bus shelter in front of our facility to the super stop.
Great. Okay.
Okay, so the motion has been moved and second. We had discussion, so all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. All right. Okay, Mr. Ando, is that all the agenda items?
That's all the business that we have today.
Okay, very good.
I move that we adjourn.
Yes, ma'am. As moved in second. All in favor by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay, everyone have a safe afternoon, and
I hope your headache clears up right up.
I want it to also. It's been going on for about 3 days now. So.
Oh gosh.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
Take care.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Thank you all.